Many backward steps are made by standing still. Kevin Kelly. My friends, if you are not moving forward in life, you are devolving. If you are wasting your days and not spending the 10 to 15 minutes each and every day to learn how to chart the markets, you're just putting off your success. Don't worry about how long it takes, because you'll make up, once you master the markets, for every minute you ever spend. Let's jump into these charts. We see the S&P 500 is almost flat for the day. It is technically up 0.04%. Now, as we look at the two-day chart, we see a doji there. We did get average volume, so that tells us a lot, does it not? We had the interim high here with lots of volume on a green spinning top. I'd have rather seen just a green up candle with a wick on top. That shows, because that shows a little bit of indecision there. Now the Heikin Ashi Doji shows us lots of indecision and, of course, nice volume. So what is that telling us? Well, it's telling us the market's really arguing over whether we've hit a high here or not. And again, we may very well see things roll over heading down. Now, I would feel more comfortable that it'd be heading down for sure if it were more than a doji. And of course, if it was on the weekly chart. Bigger charts, bigger money. Bigger charts, bigger effect. But again, will not surprise me if over the next few days things roll down. Now, could the market just be digesting upward gains? Yes. But it could do that with a sideways slide and not a doji. So we will pay close attention. You can see how the market flattened out on the half-day chart, starting on the 26th, where it most recently appears to have peaked. Let me pull that down. Yes, my memory serves me correct. Then that was on the morning of the 26th, last Thursday. Then slid around sideways, popping up a little bit on Friday morning, down there on Monday, popping up a little bit on Monday afternoon, then down on Tuesday and Wednesday, down in the morning, recovering a little bit and hanging out right there on the weekly trend line, trying to push through it. So I keep telling you, because we are in an election season, the thing to pay close attention to is what the government is doing, because the party in power is not going to just stand by and let this market crash. And because of the kind of system we live in, Department of the Treasury, SEC, you can just go through the Fed, all the groups. They're not going to stand by and do nothing. Hence, what? The recent Fed rate cut, right? Well, let's keep moving through. What do we see going on with the NASDAQ? It is up just a little bit, 0.14%, so 0.1% up higher than the S&P 500. Overall, you can look at the half-day chart, pretty much flat. Again, backing off from where we saw the high, the most recent high that hit both on the 19th, the week beginning 19th of August, and the 16th of September, and last week where the candle pushed up to it and now backing off. Look at the spinning top on the two-day chart. It has lots and lots of volume. And of course, it's a spinning top after we saw things move up. Now, we didn't have any volume to top that off on the two-day chart, but we will pay close attention as things have moved over, moved below what may be a ceiling for us, but sitting right there. And I guess there's really, the real decision is here, is this market going to go below the weekly trend line on both the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500, because it's sitting right there on it, on both those half-day charts. Now, let's move on to 20-year U.S. government bonds. Where are they? Let's tighten that up a little bit. That's not, okay, there we go. My trend line got off whack. We see that we are down for the day on 20-year U.S. government bonds, reverting to the mean. All things being equal, the market always tends to move in the direction of the largest chart. The trend is your friend until it bends. And what do we see going on there? Big dump in the morning. And again, a bit of a recovery in the afternoon on that half-day chart. Second spinning top And this is almost a doji, this last one, with decent volume on that 2-day candle. So we're paying attention. And of course, this week, spinning top, a red spinning top. And look at this. We are just into finishing up Wednesday. And we are where we pretty much topped out on volume at the end of last week. So we still have 2 more days to go. We will keep an eye on 20-year bonds. We are, of course, short on those, not excitedly short on 20-year U.S. government bonds because the candle setup is not perfect, nor is the volume. But, with the turnover we've seen here, if you put a gun to my head and say you have to trade, I'd say trade down. What's up with gold? Gold is about flat, 0.02% for the day. You can see where gold peaked on the 2-day candle back on the Wednesday, Thursday of last week. You can see where the high was last week. We don't have a higher high this week. Gold does have a lot of volume, though, so we will keep an eye on things. It was, popped up nicely yesterday, trying to recover to where it had been, did not make it. That happened last Thursday in the afternoon, but we see it moving down in the morning, not quite as much down in the afternoon. In fact, I'm looking at Heikin Ashi candlesticks. So it was up just barely 0.02% in the afternoon. Let's check out where we are on HODL. What do we see going on there with Bitcoin? Well, it is pulling back again. This is 1, 2, 3 days and trying to push through that weekly trend line on the half day, touching it with the wick on the 2-day. And we got a doji for the week that may show that up move a dime. That is where we are, folks, as we end the day on Wednesday, move into Thursday. Patreon members have already published for you Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. And again, the book is done. I am negotiating now with the person to do the brief editing and setting it up for me, both the e-version and the printed version. E-versions will go out as soon as they are ready to all of our Patreon members. So if you want a copy of the book, become a Patreon member. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.